All
Show
right.
us your
So to draw
fib.
a fib, I was actually asked like how do you draw these things? So basically you go to your good old handy dandy fib retracement tool. All right. And if I'm saying, okay, I want to know the fib levels of this low range down here. Now remember where we are in the chart. Okay. So if we step back on the daily, right, we're from here from our highs, and now we're here at our lows. Okay. Just so everyone knows where we are. So I want to be like, okay, I want to know the fib levels of this lower time frame. So I grab my fib tool, I click on the low, and I bring it up to the high. And this is my support fib. All right, this is where I imagine price is going to find support. All right. Then we have our from the high to the low. And now we have our resistance fib. All right. And this fib is
Mm.
where we expect price to bounce, right? Just more so like so this is where we right price bounced here at this top golden pocket a couple times, blew past it, came back down again, bounced off this level, came up. So you could just kind of play these levels. Now, well, when I get to ETH, I'll talk about where my position was and all that, my thinking. So we had yesterday, right? This was just crazy ass candle from from the Fed announcement, right? The rate hikes. This guy right here. Now what's gonna happen now? I mean, if we look right now on Bitcoin, right, we're trying to stay above this fib level. So right now we're at a spot where it's like, okay, we can bounce up from this or go straight down and then challenge these fib levels down here. All right. Daily, the kimono wave here, right? This is our handy dandy indicator that we've made that is a lot like Market Cipher, but it's free and it's better. All right. So here we have it's better because it has less fake outs. We won't do a whole pitch thing here on that today. But here we have the VWAP pointing up. Money flow is still pretty thick in the red. It's not like really closing up too quickly. And RSI is pointing down still. I mean, I'm trying to actually see if I get a little pop in the RSI. Can't looks like it's actually pointing up. Looks like we've done a if you can see that kind of done a little V here so far. But that could just be reacting from yesterday's crazy pump. All right. So we're still in overbought territory. We're in a red waves, which means that to me, price could likely come down. That's on the daily though. Let's go back down to like the 8 hour time frame. 8 hour, we're in a green wave. We're in an oversold signal. And see, this is what this was a big tell. Like if you were getting in, and you could use these as like entry signals, right? It's like, oh, you got in here at this 4 hour, boom, took that short, nice. Boom, you get in on this one, take that long, boom, nice. Um, 4 hours is really nice because you could really scalp some nice some heavy percentages here, but the risk you have is that this is a lot of times you're dealing with swings, right? So if it goes like, let's say you took onto this signal here and it got invalidated, you gotta get out quick, kind of type deal. Um, to be able to cut your shorts or cut your losses pretty small. And I don't ever recommend you just go off of the dots. You don't just buy off the dots. I don't recommend that. Um, so here on 4 hour, right, we do have a green wave. VWAP is starting to kind of curve in. RSI is still pointing up, which means we could still see price go up from here on the 8 hour. That's what that's telling us. 4 hour though, 4 hour, we're getting RSI pointing down. The wave looks like it's starting to crest, starting to turn. VWAP is pointing down, but that money flow wave, see this green money flow wave? That's shooting up. So this is telling me, momentum here on this wave is dying, but it's still green. So as long as that wave is green, I'm still thinking price can go up. Yes, it's showing me that it's changing, but it hasn't printed a red dot or anything. So to me, I'm thinking price is likely from here still can go up. All right. Um, from here, it looks like we're breaking this level right now, actually, on the 1 hour. 1 hour, we have a red wave. VWAP coming down. That money flow wave is pretty thin, but it's pointing up. So like the money flow is interesting because it really kind of tells me like what the future might hold. Because that's just showing kind of volume of how much money's kind of flowing in or out at that depending on the time frame. 24-minute and over bot signal. So 24 minutes. So like if I was trading the kimono wave, right? You based on, let's say your entry time frame is like, let's say it is like the 24-minute or 30-minute here, right? You want to pair it with a time frame that's 3 to 6 times that time frame. So if I was like, okay, so let's do like 4 times, that would be the 2 hour here. All right, so 2 hour has this overbought signal, red wave, everything. You're right. I'm like, okay, 2 hour is telling me to look for shorts on the 30-minute. I go to 30-minute, I see a red dot. All right. Now I'm not putting in a short yet. I'm waiting for this to print because the dots, they can repaint. If the market starts changing on you, that red dot could then disappear and the green wave expands again, and we have more pumpage kind of going on here. So wait for that to print, and then you could find yourself an entry. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing the kimono challenge. Might try to do some live trading on the Discord, kind of letting everyone know my entries and everything, so that you could trade against me and actually make a profit. Um, and here, so yeah, I would be looking close to maybe a short, but I'm really waiting for this dot to kind of print. We don't really have any divergences. Well, actually, yeah, yeah. Okay, so here. Divergence. I do see a bearish divergence. So you see price has been coming up. Now we are in momentum coming down. I think we could be seeing a pullback here. Maybe we start bouncing off of this level or something. But we'll see how it goes. Like the lower time frames are telling us right now, yeah, we have an overbought signal here on the 15-minute. So like just like 15-minute, I'd go like to the 1 hour and say, okay, yeah, we're shorting. I would have gotten in on a short right here, anticipating a little pump down. I imagine, yeah, we'll see what happens today. It's holding this level pretty well. I mean, right now it's really just bouncing off of support. So I'd keep that in mind. I don't like to really short support, right? I like usually long support, short resistance. Um, that kind of logic also bit me in the ass yesterday. But let's go back. Let's go to ETH. Let's check ETH out and see what that ETH was absolutely insane yesterday. All right,
It
so
was, man, that candle, that green candle was just epic.
yeah,
Epic
so
candle.
yeah, it was basically like this happened, and then the news came out, the Fed meeting, and then pop got us higher, freaking highs. I didn't think, right? Okay, so my logic here, along with those every other person that got liquidated yesterday, right? It the price, it broke support. We got down, and so I was thinking we're gonna come up. If we did come up, we would test what was support, test it, become resistance, right? That's just kind of what you'd expect here. Um, and there were signs that that is what would likely happen. Like I said, well, the daily has the overbought signal, so we should be seeing more of a chance of dumpage and everything. Um, anyway, I digress here. So I had a couple of shorts here. I mean, we had this level. So if you pull back right on this fib, I'm expecting price to move. When it was at this level, I was thinking, okay, if I take a short here, yes, it could go up, but it could just come up to the support here or resistance, and I would then take more shorts. Same, and just double down, because once it breaks this level, I'm thinking, hey, we want to challenge this level and eventually return down to that golden pocket. Neither of those happened. Actually, not even nothing like that happened. And I had signs right when this pump was happening. There were signs on of the time frames, like the 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, were all starting to tell me this isn't going down anymore. You got to start looking for longs here. And I just kind of ignored it. I was relying too much. I did. I was relying too much on the fibs. I was like, no, kimono wave. I know you're telling me all this stuff, but you're going to change, right? You're going to change. The daily's red. It's going to change. It's the Fed. Everyone's
Right.
going to be fudding with the recession. It's going to go great. The shorts, all these shorts are going to go work out great. And they didn't work out great at all, because then it just skyrocketed, hit my stop losses, and I was out. And I had a large stop loss because, again, I was looking for a large move, right? I was looking for a large move down. So none of that happened yesterday for me, and for the everyone else that got liquidated and lost a bunch of money. So here I returned to kind of, now I have two fibs, right? I have this the larger, and it's not really a macro fib, right? I would call it like a macro fib, like when you zoom out, like let's make a macro fib. So you can pull fibs from anywhere. That's the cool thing, and kind of annoying thing about fibs is that you can kind of just make them up wherever the hell you want them to be, honestly. All right, so here you can just
sounds
pull them up.
sounds very very
And
very
that's the
very
thing about fibs.
here.
Yeah, well, people will pull out fibs and then like return back to them months later and be like, "Oh yeah, look, it's the price is moving on this fib that I pulled months ago." You know what I mean? It's like you
Very
can
side.
pull fibs from all sorts of ranges. So through every
Oh
leg
yeah,
of
different
this
time
pump and
frames,
dump.
different. Yeah,
Yeah, you just are pulling fibs everywhere. So,
I like to just pull
um,
fibs on the 1 minute personally. That's all I
oh
do.
gosh, no, that's
Just
like
kidding.
worthless. That doesn't do anything. So here, all right, we have fibs here. So this is the macro here. Bybit, this is
Weekly.
all the history I have for what am I on? Ethereum. All right. So this is it. So these fib levels here, and as you can see, I mean, we've really been right. We're just hanging out down here at this bottom of the fib level, right? This is a great, right, and this is our support fib. So this is where you'd be looking for longs. All right. So boom. If you had a long hair, happy for you. I am happy for you. Really am. I'm a bit jealous, but I'm also happy. And I guess as we're pumping up, right? We might it might not be pretty, right? We've already wicked down back here. I'm on the weekly, by the way. Um, we wicked down to this level, popped right back up. So we're really just, we could totally be, it could be messy for a while, but we're gonna want to challenge these levels. That's just what happens, man. So I'd be looking here at this pocket for maybe a bounce back. And I've been saying 1700. Here this fib says about 1900. Hey, let's go up. The 618 level is tends to be a bit
Let's
more
go.
responsive to price, which is about 21. Which is about 21.
Ooh,
So really, we just, if it's going
mm,
to be interesting how
I
this
like that.
week kind of closes out here, because that could be this candle formation here. eh, If if it prints like this, I don't know if it'll print like this, right? We have
Like
three
a
days
doji,
left.
I think. Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah,
see
you don't
what
really
happens.
want you don't want to see this kind of doji, because these could be pattern reversing, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And on the weekly look, I mean, the money flow wave is still pointing down, which is
Still red.
yeah.
Overall.
So yeah, we'll see what happens here in the coming days, huh? On the daily though, we have Big or Ethereum. Yep. Now I was about to say, I bet you it's printing a green dot. Yes, it is. We have a green dot on the
Yeah.
daily. So this is
Could
just
have
a
some
big
more
giant
pump.
psych out. And see, this is
Yeah.
what I was like, damn, we haven't had price come down, challenge these levels with a daily overbought signal. Like it was all lining up to say we're going lower, we're claiming these lower levels on these fibs. Didn't happen. Just didn't happen.
Popped kind of right off that golden pocket there.
4 hours still in green wave, RSI pointing down, VWAP coming down. So, again, still green wave. So a lot of times I see pumps still from here. There's still a lot of pumpage left within the 4 hour time frame. 1 hour, 1 hour has an oversold signal. It hasn't. No. So we're still in a red.
Yeah.
It hasn't printed a green
It's a mess right there.
buy signal here, but yeah, it's
Got
wanting to. It's
green money
wanting to.
flow.
VWAP. That money flow is telling you that this wants to change. 24-minute, we're getting a sell signal.
Yeah.
So we're definitely just really challenging this level of what was resistance. Now we're challenging it for support. So I've been. Oh, I should have kept. I had an order. Oh, it hasn't filled
Here
yet.
We go.
No, my order hasn't filled.
Here we go, guys.
And one, yeah. Buckle up. Gotta position it. No position yet. No position yet. Didn't fill.
It's funny.
I'm trying to wait until after the show to trade. I'm trying to be better about that. But I don't know.
Wow, that's so kind of you. That's so sweet.
Try not to be distracted and let Freeman just kind of run it all. I mean, yeah, 15-hour. We have a sell. So right now, yeah. So 1 hour was saying short. 15-minute was telling you, yes, we want a short. This could have been an easy, right? You put that short in. It's 1.8, dude. Yeah, that's a nice little scalp right there. So it's really, now it's like kind of like right. If I entered the short here on the 15-minute, I maybe have taken my profits already because I'm like, I am not too convinced right now that this is going to break down this level of support. What if we get a bounce up here soon? So just because that 1 hour, right, everything is kind of really thin, everything's pinching in. So we'll see what happens today.
Yep.
I mean, right now, currently everything is red, but not too deep, except for Ape. Ape. Yeah, I also had a trade on Ape.
Some steam blowing off the top of these pumps, as well. But it's gotta get relief at some point.
Okay, so here's one of my positions here. You can see it hit my stop loss on that giant pump.
That thing
That was brutal. That was brutal. But you know what? That's it. Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, price looks like it could be coming down, but I'm not. Is it? Where's
like
our
real legit dump coming in?
I haven't. Yeah, I'm only on 15-minute. Let me pull back a bit.
I mean, sometimes you do get the pump and then just a dump right back down. I mean, it happens all the time.
So if I wanted to do a fib here, right, I'd make my fib levels from the last low to the high. And look, it basically is just right there with the other highs, just wicked right up here. Yeah. Man, that'd be great. That would have been a great short to be putting in.
Clear rejection off that resistance.
Fib level, let's do our resistance fib.
Coinbase commercial pump not working. Yeah, no, it had like the opposite effect too on the stock price.
on Coinbase's, yeah. I mean, we've had some chickens drinking water. Look at this on like if you look at these levels,
Yeah, the
we've
price
got,
has been
this
a
wick
little nutty
down,
there.
bounce
Yeah,
up, wick up, bounce down.
very volatile.
Um, it is. It's just, and these fib levels are fantastic just to kind of play the ranges. A lot of people will just put in orders right on these levels, right? Shorts
Waiting for
here,
bounces. Yeah,
right? Sell here, long here, so they're just taking profits every single time. So you would have had one, two, working on that third trade here on this range. So these ranges are these fib levels are great just to kind of play around with the ranges here. Um, so I think maybe we just kind of range around this area, kind of like what we've done here. But let's see if we get some sort of spike down. But you know what? It doesn't really look like it. I mean, 1 hour looks like we want to start
mhm,
pumping here. Kind of like ETH this morning when I got in. ETH on the 1 hour was wanting to print a green dot, was wanting to show signs of pump, but that reprinted just like I just showed you, and the red wave was starting to expand
mhm.
more, saying, "Hey, no, not quite yet." So you just have to be patient and let
Yeah,
these
could be
print.
a fake out too.
Um,
I mean,
that
it could
happens.
still
Not
come
every
down a little bit more for sure.
Look at these. Yeah,
I
look
think
at
so.
all these
Yeah,
fake outs. And the
yeah.
only way for
It's
you to kind of
frustrating.
eliminate getting caught in fake outs is if you follow what the higher time frame's telling you what to do.
Yeah, you
If
gotta
the
look at
higher
multiple
time
time
frame
frames.
Yeah, the higher time frame is telling you, hey, we're longing, or the higher time frame here would be telling us to short, so we would only be taking those short positions, okay? And use fib levels. You're down here, you're in the middle of the fib, and you get a green buy signal, and you're taking a short down. Take some profits off the table, but let it ride because you know that it's likely going to come down to this level. So it's just there's a lot to kind of take in. I recommend when you use the kimono wave to also use levels, right? The kimono wave is can help you with entries. It can also
Yeah,
help you just know where it's going, if it's going
yeah.
in your direction or not.
You wanna
Um,
look at different parts of the market, right? The wave is the momentum. You wanna look at the trend. You might wanna use your levels, and then maybe you're also looking at a volatility indicator. You just wanna take in, yeah, lots of all the different parts of the market and into your decision making. Yeah, you don't wanna just trade off one part. It's like if you just did trend, you're just trading off the EMAs. You'll get all kinds of traps. So yeah, you gotta use multiple tools, multiple indicators. How much do you use as leverage? Oh, do you really want the answer
uh,
to that nasty
it
question?
depends. It depends on the position and what the risk is on it. I usually hover around. I don't know. I've been doing 25 quite a bit on Ethereum, but that's just because it mathematically makes sense with my risk reward ratio and my position size. Um,
Especially for those
because
scalps.
it's like, yeah, well, yeah, because
Wowee.
I'm not, I'm only, because I'm using about 20 or just like 1 to 2% of my portfolio per trade. um and then from there it's like just depending. Yeah, it just depends on what kind of trade I'm doing. And on the lower time frames, I usually, yeah, that's where I'm using more of the 25. When I go like the larger time frames and stuff, then I use more capital than I do um leverage.
Yeah, and that's Josh asked 25K, 25x, so 25 times essentially what hit the amount that he is
Right.
holding.
Right. So if I did, so yeah, if I was like, oh, I'm putting in $2,000 on a trade with 25 leverage, that would be about what 50,000. Is that right? Doing the math right?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be worth like 50,000 on that trade. So,
Yeah.
and then there, I'm just kind of with that, I'm like just looking for like a 1% move, to if I'm lucky kind of deal,
Yeah.
and then then I'm
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean?
And you're not, yeah,
Um,
and you don't want to hang on to those 25x leverage positions for long times, because obviously 25x
yeah.
putting you at a much higher risk level for liquidation, et cetera.
Yeah, and that's what happened with me. With the last one is it just went out of. I had a big, I had a large risk level, but because I had a large reward level, and I usually what actually keeps my losses. But if I use the kimono wave to exit rather than using levels, I find myself actually making my losses way less than what those levels would have had me at. Like if I was like, okay, if I put that trade yesterday and I was like, all right, if the 4 hour, right, because 4 hour is a pretty big signal on what direction price action might be moving towards. If 4 hour was looking super bullish on one of my shorts, and I was like, okay, that should have been my signal right there to get out. Instead, I was using levels to get out, right? So basically what I mean by that is I go here and I go, okay, I was shorting. So let's say I can't remember exactly where my short was. Short here, right? So I was shorting here, and it's and what I got, like, so like if I had my 4 hour signal print somewhere around here, boom, I would have gotten out. Versus, because let's say my risk, I was risking, and usually my risk reward ratio, I try to do like 1.5. I actually don't know why I do that. I can't remember what I think I just saw. I
We've
think
just
that's
been
just
doing
kind of
that
like
for like
pretty
a year.
popular.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah, I
doing,
know. It's just kind of, I see a lot of people do that, the 1.5.
yeah, we just kind of started
Um
doing that like a year ago. I don't know.
and yes, Josh,
We
it's
did
like
the
options for
calculation at some
crypto.
point.
Yeah. Um so like, basically, you set up your position here where it is, and instead of using this level, if I use the kimono wave, I would have gotten out a lot earlier and cut my loss a lot smaller than what it was. So that's something I'm probably going to start adapting more. It's just using the kimono wave for my stop loss, because it does stop me out, from bad decisions a lot quicker than those kind of levels.
We're
Um,
learning. We're learning every day. We are learning.
oh, every day I'll never, and that's the thing. When you're trading, you don't stop learning. You're constantly learning. You're constantly like, oh, what if I tried this? Oh, I never heard of that before. Let me try that. You want to like, constantly be learning and challenging yourself and learning new skills and whatnot, but definitely just stick to what works, for you for the most part.
Thank you for watching GMTV.